Good morning. This is Tuesday, May the 12th. How's everybody doing? All
Okay, here we
right.
go.
Mhm.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Taunee English. If you're a Galar or Greater Los Angeles Association member, I'm your chair of professional development, and I'm also a state director representing our region. And I'm president-elect of Women's Council of Realtors for the LA Beverly Hills Network. Welcome. And today we have Mr. Paul Horn, attorney at law, who is perhaps the only probate attorney and CPA who consistently teaches live seminars to us Southern Californian real estate agents called the probate process from A to Z. I am a big fan of Paul because majority of what I've learned about probate came from him. And he has been one of my biggest supporters for pursuing the professional fiduciary certification. So thank you, Paul, for joining us today. And besides being an awesome and entertaining instructor to us realtors about the probate process, what is extra special about Mr. Paul is that he's a California State Bar certified specialist in estate planning, trust, and probate law. So without any further ado, let's welcome Mr. Paul Horn.
All right. So good morning, everybody. Okay. So probates. So I don't know how many of you are into or know about probate. I think probate is a really fantastic niche. So when I talk about probate, I'm just not talking about purely probate per se. I'm talking about just in general, a homeowner who passed away. Okay. And the last time I checked, your homeowner might die. They will die, right?
Yeah, no
It's
one's
only a
getting out of
matter
here
of time.
alive.
It's only a matter of time. So look, um, I've developed a software. I developed a software where you can now track all these probate. Um, so a couple of things about probate for you. You can use it to get listing. You can use it to buy investment property for yourself.
I'm sorry, Paul, one
Yes.
second. Can you
Mhm.
speak up a little bit louder, please?
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. So about probate, how it applies to you. You can use it to get listing. You can use it to buy property for yourself, to buy for your client, obviously. And also with this software, you are able to use it to build a buyer's list. Okay.
Can we just stop for one second? Can you define what probate is?
So when a homeowner passes away, you're going to pull the grand deed. When you pull the grand deed, if the house is not in a trust, then it's probate, period. I don't care if you have a will. A will not avoid probate. It will put you in a probate. So the only thing that escape a probate is a trust. You
Okay.
pull up the grand deed. If it's in a trust, wonderful. Just get a copy of the trust, find a successor trustee, and you can, open escrow essentially. When you pull the grand deed and it's under the homeowner's name, welcome to probate. Yeah. So that's probate. Basically a title clearing house. When you sell your house, you sign the grand deed. But in a probate, the homeowner is in heaven, right? He cannot sign the grand
Hopefully.
deed. Yes. So that's what probate is about. So probate, essentially the judge will appoint someone to step into the deceased homeowner's shoe to sign the grand deed, sign your escrow to the buyer.
So they become the seller.
Yes, the personal representative is your seller, is your boss. In a trust, is the successor trustee. Yeah.
And who's normally the personal representative?
Normally, it's going to be either the surviving spouse or the children. So the majority of the time, it's going to be the children. Okay. So for example, if mom left a will and mom says, hey, Susie, You are the most responsible one. I'm going to make you the executor. So Susie will take that will to the probate court, and the judge will appoint Susie as the personal representative, aka the executor. Now you hear the term administrator. Administrator is when mom and dad did not leave a will. Okay. Yeah. So mom died with 4 children, and it's normally the majority of the time they talk among themselves. Hey, you know what? Sister Mary lives in the same city where the house is at, and and she's the one that's able to pay for the filing costs and all that. So they basically agree among themselves who's going to be the personal representative generally, Taunee. Yeah.
Well, we do have a question.
Yes.
So before we get really started into the software, the question is from Chuck, and he wants to know, what is the difference between a probate that requires probate court confirmation and probate that does not require court confirmation?
Great. Let's do this. Let me just show you. Let me just show you. So for example, what Chuck is asking is, and guys, feel free to ask questions, because the whole point is in the next 60 minutes, if I can just answer one question for you, it's worth your time. I do not want to waste your time. So just ask, and then Taunee is going to relay it to me, and then we're going to take care of you. So get one value from this 1 hour, okay?
Wait 1 second. I just want to just answer this for Cindy one second. Cindy, yes. If a house is not in trust, the probate requires a court confirmation. Paul's about to answer that question right now for you, because it's part of Chuck's question.
Yes. Okay. So here, let me just show you an example. Let me just show you an example. So this software is going to present to you in this format the probate data. Exactly to answer Chuck's question, it's going to have the type of authority type. In a probate, there's only 2 types of authority: full authority and limited authority. When it's limited authority, you need court confirmation. It's limited authority. The majority of the probate, it's going to be full authority. So Chuck, to answer your question, it's either going to be limited authority or full authority. Only limited authority require court confirmation, as conservatorship as well, okay? And full authority is the best, Chuck. When you're trying to buy a probate house, when you're trying to sell a probate house, buy one with full authority. Why? Because once the personal representative chooses your client as the accepted offer, there is no court auction, there's no court confirmation. That's it. Your client just go and get the money ready to close escrow, Chuck. Okay? Yeah.
Perfect. You answered his question.
Yeah. Taunee, is there any question? You just let me know,
Yeah, we just go ahead and have you go through the software and ask questions throughout.
Sure, that's perfect. Okay, so this software is going to cover it's essentially all of Southern California's probates, okay?
So that's like 5 counties?
Yes. So you got Los Angeles County, San Bernardino, Orange County, Riverside, and San Diego, okay? So let's
while you're here, so the question is, when are you going to get into Northern California?
Soon, when the Roni goes away, when coronavirus kind of calmed down a little bit, when my tech guy, V, who's on a call with us right now, when he's had a moment to catch his breath, we will expand, So for example, if you wanted to search Los Angeles, you would click on Los Angeles, for example, okay? And so let's say, for example, so Los Angeles County. So let's say, for example, if you wanted to search, let's say, you know what? Let's take a peek at everything from, let's say, April 1st to now, the last, say, a month or the last 5 weeks filing. Okay, so you would go there and you would click search. Okay, when you click search, you will see that, oh, it's got what? It's got 143 filing. Now keep in mind, April 1st to now it's COVID-19. So even with COVID-19, there's still probate. Okay. The courts are shut down, but the courts are still processing the probate petition. Okay. So you can search by counties. You can search by counties, or let's say, for example, you know what, LA County is kind of big. Why don't we search by some zip code? You know, what's your zip code, Taunee?
90212.
So let's see. So we go 90212. Let's click there. Let's just add a couple more zip code to this.
What about 90405?
90405. What else?
90069.
Let's see, 90069. And this could be your farm area, guys. This could be your farm area. So for example, I don't know. Here, what else is nearby you?
Let's see, 90808.
90808, for example. Okay, so let me just, I don't know. Let me just get a couple more so we can see some example. Let's say these are your farm area. Let's say you, I don't know. Let's say you have 10 zip codes, these are your farm area, okay? So when you put in these zip codes, every time there is a probate case, you're gonna get an alert via email. So never again will you ever miss a probate case in your farm area, okay? So you put in our zip code, and let's say, for example, let's go back. Let's say, let's just go March 1st to, let's say now, for example, and let's say we search. Let's say we search, okay? Let's say we search. All right. So these are the cases. These are the cases, and let's say, it's got case number. It's got the county, obviously, the date that the probate petition was filed in court, the day it was filed. It's got the cities. It's got the city, that's in Los Angeles, West Hollywood, Santa Monica, Long Beach, okay? It's got the encumbrance. The encumbrance is how much mortgage is on there, how much mortgage, okay? As you can see, you know, some people say the baby boomer generation is probably one of the greatest generation. You know, they don't have a mortgage on these houses. You know, they've gone through the Great Depression, they save money, they pay off their houses. So a lot of these are zero encumbrances, okay? Zero encumbrances.
Where do you get that information from?
Oh, okay. So what we do is this. Let me do, we get it from the probate petition. And let me just show you what a probate petition looks like.
Okay.
So all probate leads, gang, emanates from the probate court. It comes from the probate court, okay? It all comes from the probate court, obviously, right? And we basically harvest these leads from the probate court. And when we are harvesting these leads, what are we looking for? Here, let me show you, let's see, let me just bring up an actual example of a probate petition. Let me see here. Let me show you an example of a probate petition. Give me 1 second. And for those of you who are watching that's not in these 5 counties, I think it's, this is good education too, because when you go to court and you pull up the probate petition, you're gonna know what is it you're looking for. So let me do an example. Let me show you what example of probate petition looks like. Let's see here, give me 1 second. Let me pull one for us and let's take a look. Here, why don't we do this one? I'm going to share my screen so we can see what a probate petition looks like. I'm going to go here. We will take a look at the screen. Okay, so a probate petition looks like this. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so this is called a probate petition. Do you remember Chuck asked me, hey, full authority or limited authority comes from right here, page one.
Mm-hmm.
Page one is where the petitioner is asking, hey, judge, give me full authority. Hey, judge, I'm an idiot, give me limited authority, for example, okay?
So what determines who gets full authority and who gets limited authority?
The number one driver are the probate attorneys. And inexperienced probate attorney is going to give you limited authority because they just don't know what they're doing, okay? So that's one factor. That's the major factor. Or maybe someone who's trying to do the probate themselves and run into trouble, limited authority. But the majority of the time, inexperienced probate attorney, that is the number one, hands down reason why. Okay. Yeah. So the probate petition that you would go to court to get looks like this. And these are, so my court researcher, basically, they do the same thing. They pull up this probate petition, okay? So for example, Taunee asked me, hey, where do you get the, I think the encumbrance you asked me, right?
The mortgage, any mortgage or liens on the property.
Yeah, the outstanding mortgage on the house. So when we fill out, when the probate attorney goes and fill out the court paperwork, they ask the probate attorney, hey, probate attorney, how much the encumbrance? You see that right here, encumbrance right here? Encumbrance is 0 here, for example. So the probate attorney will ask the son or daughter, hey, any encumbrance? 0 right there, okay?
And also what they also ask a realtor, usually a probate attorney who asks a realtor to run profile title too, right? Or have the title company run any liens too, right? Just to be sure.
Yeah, sure. Yes. Yeah. And majority of the time, I like to ask the son or daughter to please look at the latest mortgage statement. You know, that's gonna probably a pretty good indication. And so the probate court wants to know, hey, what is the value of the house and the encumbrance? So the value of the house is a guess. So for example, here they guessed it out at 450. Okay, at 450 now. If we can switch back for 1 second, to the software, we can switch back a second to the software. Let's just click on one case.
Okay.
It also shows you, it links it to Zillow, and Zillow gives you a value as well too, okay? Zillow gives you, a Zillow value. Zillow also tells you the last day was sold. So for example, this case was filed on March 18, and there was a hearing on March 17. I know for a fact there ain't no hearing on 4/17 because of COVID-19. It's been pushed forward, okay? As a realtor, hey, the last date sold was 2004. Okay, so it gives you an idea, this property is probably still in play, still for you to get the listing, still for you to buy, okay? So these are and then like here, for example, you see the property value is 0. A lot of times, some probate attorney are not, this is maybe their first probate, second probate filing, they don't know what they're doing, okay? So sometimes there's a bit of a disconnect between the people who fill out the actual probate petition and because just don't know what they're doing, Like my firm, I only do probate and trust, that's it. I don't do immigration, DUI, so I save all my brain cell for probate,
Would there also be an example of a probate attorney who did not ask a realtor for that answer?
And you'll be surprised that a lot of times, not all probate cases comes with a realtor, guys. Not all probate cases comes with a realtor.
Right.
When there's one, we ask, but not every single son or daughter comes into the probate attorney's office with an agent. Yeah. There was a couple was there a couple of questions, Taunee, on the screen or no?
Not okay. So one question, just since we're sticking to this part of it, can you go back up to the full authority and limit authority?
Yes. So now you see page 1 of my probate petition, right?
Okay. So if there is a disagreement between heirs, would that cause a reason why the PR wouldn't be given full authority?
Okay. So for an inexperienced probate attorney, yes. For someone like myself, I'm going to say, Sister Susie, you want to be in charge. And also your brother, Tiger King, who also wants to be the personal representative, right? Tiger King, he wants to be in charge, right? But Sister Susie, you don't trust Tiger King. Is it Tiger King? That's his name, right? Tiger King. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So sometimes the judge will say, hey, you know what? Let's do limited authority for Tiger King because we want to watch to see that to make sure he doesn't sell this house, mom's house, to his new husband for 10 cents on the dollar, for example. Hence, it's limited authority. Okay, so sometimes that could be a factor, or sometimes, but the majority of the time, the best way is talk some sense into them both. Hey guys, limited authority is going to cost you $5,000 more. Hey guy, limited authority is going to take you at least 8-9 months to close escrow. Hey guy, there's much more hurdles in limited authority. So Sister Susie, Tiger King, are you fighting? Why don't we do full authority? Hey, Sister Susie, why don't we make sure that when the house is sold, the money sits in a block account where Tiger King cannot touch it to feed his tiger, okay? So an experienced probate attorney will work things out.
So just to understand this, so full authority means no court confirmation.
Yes, absolutely.
And limited authority means court confirmation.
Yes. So court confirmation means that even though you have an accepted offer, you go to court, someone else can shows up and bid on that house. If you're the listing agent and your brilliant probate attorney gives you limited authority, you did your best and got the best buyer, you were going to get 6%, you're going to double in this thing, it went to court confirmation, someone shows up with their own buy, you just lost 3%. So that, don't do limited authority, please. Do full authority, you sell the house much faster, and the buyer don't have to freaking wait 8-9 months to get this house, okay? Much better full authority, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
can we go into your software now? Because we're going to have some more questions relating to that.
Yes. Okay. So here, let me, and Taunee, you know what? This is an educational that you and I are doing. So we'll answer as many questions as we can. We want to be able to learn some stuff today. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So going back to the software. Okay. So for example, when you do your search,
okay.
When you do your search, you're going to pull up a case. Okay. So remember how we said, hey, when you do your search, for example, let's say you click on here. Why don't we try San Diego this time? Well, I think most of us are LA, so let's just stick to LA. Let's say we go to LA this time. Like I said, you can choose the date range. Okay, choose the date range whenever you want it. So let's say you go April 1st to today, for example.
Why would that be important? The date range.
It's not, the computer, I guess, you do have to assign a date range because, look, so for example, let's say, for example, you chose something April 1st of 2019, up to, because something for April 1st of 2019, for example, the property may have been sold already, so you don't necessarily want that. So for example, you know, so let me just click on, let's say this case right here. This case was filed on, oh, let me see, it was filed on
October 2019.
Yes, October 2019. And you know what interesting thing is? So this, if you look at Zillow says last sold date 2001. So they, right. I guess this heir basically kept it. This heir basically kept the house. And so for example,
Paul, regarding this right in this section here, so we would type in the date to search for files. How do we know, I mean, in your application, in your software, does this only reflect properties that have not been sold?
So yes. So, well, we rely on Zillow for that. So do you see how Zillow shows 2001?
The last sale date?
Yes. So that's apparently, I guess the house has not been sold. Now, from your experience, Taunee, as a realtor, how reliable is that last sale date on Zillow?
It's pretty reliable, but I always go and run my own title search anyway. Good. But it's pretty reliable.
So this gives you an idea that these, now just to, so for a savvy probate realtor, you look at this, it should, you know, if, for example, if Linda passed away and it's going to all these beneficiaries and they haven't sold the house, they're probably itching. One of these four is probably gonna want their money, Taunee, you know?
I'm still going back to the date because that seems to be a question.
Yes.
What is the best dates to search for probate leads? I mean, I have one question where she said it took 2 to 3 years before an heir got full authority, for instance, to actually sell the property or got authority to sell the property. So what would be a good search date for people? What would be a good range for people to search based on date filed?
Okay, so I do the most probate in California, okay? The majority of my cases, the house gets sold, you know, in the first, say in the first 3, 4, 5, 6 months, okay? So I would probably, you know, depending on how much time you have to look at this software, I would say probably going back 4 months. With COVID-19, maybe go back 6 months. But having said that, guys, everybody is looking for the new probate cases to go after, right? But they're not, for example, the one I just showed you, maybe go back to that one where everybody left already, where everybody who's farming for probate left already. You go back and say, hey, how are you guys doing? Do you need property management? What's going on? Maybe now there's a disagreement among the 4 children. I hate brother Johnny. He's not managing this properly. I want my money, you know? So it makes this software very powerful. It's got like, currently, I think it's got like, I don't know, 18,000 cases, you know, 18,000 probate cases, you know? Yeah, so like, for example, this one here, this one was sold on March 5th of 2020. So the house has been sold already, you know, so you know that, okay, you wouldn't want to possibly work on this case because it's done, okay? Yeah. So I would say 6 months, but for those of you who wants to invest more time, who wants to think outside the box, go a little more. Go a year, 2 years, 3 years. Go back to the one where there's less competition because everybody left already. They're just looking for the newer case, maybe the older case. Maybe people, hey, if you ever been a landlord, sometimes it's not the most beautiful thing, right? Being a landlord, right? So you got a tenant from hell. Oh my God, right? Yeah. So, yeah, Taunee.
Okay, and just also for some people, some realtors too out there, when they're asking about the conflict, about who gets to be an administrator and things like that, sometimes the probate attorney, like Paul, would suggest, so hiring a professional fiduciary, because I play that role quite a bit. So when there is a conflict, either the court or of course, Paul can speak more about this. Sometimes they appoint a professional fiduciary to act as the administrator or as the personal rep when there's a conflict that seems to go on forever. And Paul, you can talk more about that.
Yeah, so to be a professional fiduciary, so Taunee is a professional fiduciary where she is licensed to be the personal representative. If you're not a professional fiduciary, if you're not a professional fiduciary, a licensed professional fiduciary, you can only be under one or two probate cases, the PR per year, okay? So this question, if the 4 children are fighting like you wouldn't believe, okay, hey, look. Let's sell this house real fast. Let's put a professional fiduciary on as the personal representative to sell the house so everybody can rest well and make sure that they're going to get their money. They're going to get the equal split. Okay, so yeah, in situation where it's hopeless among all the siblings, we can turn to a professional fiduciary because that's their job, is to basically administer probate cases, administer trust administration.
So just answer. So a professional fiduciary will be listed on the contract, or the professional fiduciary becomes the seller. So they're the personal rep for the case versus the child or sibling or family member. So they're the seller. Just to explain that, they become the seller of the real estate, and you'll be dealing with a professional fiduciary, who then, of course, is the probate attorney, works for the professional fiduciary, would be the way to explain that.
Yes, and to stay on that topic just a little bit, whether it's the professional fiduciary, whether it be the son or the daughter, if we, for example, if you look at this case, for example, so
right.
The data we give you, the petitioner is the person in charge. The petitioner most of the time is the son. The petitioner most of the time is the daughter, or maybe a professional fiduciary. Whoever it is, we give you a phone number to call.
That's your contact, realtors.
Yes, that's your contact. And we also give you an email address, So now you can email. Now you can call. And let's say, for example, if you want to do some mailing, this software gives you a gluttony of library of me teaching you probate. So for example, let's say you want to do some mailing, and you've never done any mailing before. So what would your piece look like? Okay. All right. So I give you like 400. I give you like 400 plus pages of example. Example after example to just scroll through and see, hey, which one resonate with you? Which one, is more representative of you? How do you speak? How do you talk? So there are tons and tons of example. Let's say, so I do a lot of probate. So I get a lot of, that's how I accumulated all these mailings from all these years. Okay. So, yeah. So what I would do is, send out a mailer, draft a mailer. Okay, draft a mailer, mail it out, follow up with a phone call, When you do your mailer, your envelope, maybe make it look like a, a Hallmark card, a greeting card, different colors. And on the inside of it, what will you put? Well, I have tons of example here for you. So you do your mailing from this example, and then you're gonna follow up with a phone call. And like I was saying, on the phone call, we give you the phone number, and then you have an option to do email as well too. Okay, yeah. So that's how you would contact the personal representative. And the personal representative, the petitioner, is the one solely has the power to sign your listing agreement, not the attorney. It's the petitioner, Taunee.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do we have questions? pertaining to this topic, Taunee?
Not at this part here. The next one would be, let me get to just get through this part of it. We talked about that, cash on hand. So everyone understands that the petitionary is your point of contact. How important is the attorney as a contact? Because some of the questions are that, these, by the time it gets to this part, they're receiving so many mailers and things like that. How do you stand out? So would reaching out to the attorney be a way to get the lead, to get the listing?
Look. So I deal with a lot of probates, okay? What I see is, guys, first thing first, please, understand probate code, okay? I have given you probably 10 plus hours. Watch all these videos. I want you to understand what full authority, in the middle of the night, understand this immediately, understand the vocabulary, the language so well, so that when you ever talk to a probate attorney, when you ever talk to the PR, you are at the very top, okay?
Okay, wait. So before that, what I like to suggest is that you get the certification in probate, which Paul has written. He written for California Associated Realtors, Paul has actually authored a certification in probate. So that will give you the knowledge, the terminology to reach out. Because what I do is I reach out to probate attorneys to get leads. And what has helped me is that, I come from the county background, of course, but I understand the lingo. I learned from Paul the probate A to Z before he created the certification. So I knew exactly how to speak to probate attorneys. So I get both the leads that Paul provides and speaking to probate attorneys.
Yeah, so do you see my screen, Taunee? Do you see?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so basically, CAR now has their own certification program. I wrote the program for CAR. I basically shot about 3-hour videos for them. It comes with a book. So, and at the end, you take an exam. Once you pass the exam, CAR will send you, the president of CAR will sign a certificate for you. So it's certification by CAR. And so some of you may not know who I am, but just because I wrote this for CAR, believe me, CAR legal team has already ripped this apart. So rest assured you're in good hand, because CAR have their own legal department that looked over every single word, every single thing that I've talked about in this program. So anyway, Taunee, you're right. If you wanted, so hey, look, I think at some point in time, you're gonna come across a homeowner who's gonna pass away, okay? And when you do, I think it's good to know a little bit about probate, okay? And also from an investing point of view, guys, I think it's really terrific. You don't see a lot of probate. On the MLS, and let me tell you why. You don't see a lot of probate on MLS because how many of you have been on a cruise before? Right? That was a distant memory. I went on a cruise. Okay. If it's full authority, gangs, it's like a ship in the middle of the night doing cruise, midnight, it just sails out. Okay. You don't get to see it. Okay. So I really believe that if you wanted investment property for yourself or for your client, probate is a darn good way to go to find those those houses that are not on the MLS. Okay.
Too late if it gets on the MLS.
In terms of pricing, it's too late for investor. Yes, that's correct. So for investing, I think if you wanted to find off the radar properties, probate is a good way to go. And for example, all you have to do now is tell this software what is the zip code you're looking for, and this software will automatically email you those cases. Okay. From Monday to Friday, we harvest these leads on a daily basis, Monday to Friday. We harvest it, we clean it, we sanitize it, we put email address in there, we put phone number in there, and then we upload into this software. And then this software automatically sends you a notification because you told the software, hey, when there is a probate in such and such a zip code, give it to me. And so now it's automated for you. So you'll never miss another probate in your farm area. Taunee.
Right. And just, we're getting questions from other states. And so, Paul, can you explain how probate law works in different states? Because, because basically the certification that we're speaking of is only for California. Paul is a California probate attorney for now. So can you explain how that, what you're speaking about today, would it apply to other states is the question.
Yeah, California and Hawaii, they seem to be the toughest state in terms of regulation. So there's 50 states. There's a little bit of nuances in all 50 states, but yeah, if you are in any specific county that's not in California, you probably want to maybe take a probate attorney out to lunch, maybe pay an hour for his time. Yeah, I would probably start to Google and probably learn a lot about the probate process. Then you call them. And if you want to, hey, look, pay them an hour of their time for consultation. I don't know, for those states that are not in California, okay? If you're in California, all you got to do is watch all these videos that I have for you in this software. I assure you, you watch all these videos, this is all you need to learn. And for out of state, if you have the time to watch all this video, that will give you an idea, because California has the toughest law in probate, has the toughest mechanical procedures, okay? So yeah, so for out of state, they all have a little bit of different variation in all 50 different states, Taunee.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just going back to defining what a personal rep is, can you explain the difference between executor, administrator, and a personal rep?
Yes. Okay, so let's do this. I am going to give us a...
Just to stay in that section before we move on.
Yeah. So in a probate, your boss is gonna be the personal representative. Do you see my Microsoft Word? You do, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay, yeah. So in the probate, your boss is the personal representative. I say is your boss because that's the person who has the power to sell you the house, who has the power to sign your listing agreement. The personal representative comes in two shapes and form. So one is called, if mom left a will naming Susie to be the executor, we call that personal representative. The executor. If mom did not leave a will, we call that personal representative the administrator. Okay, so that is the vocabulary. That is the vocabulary, that the lane that you want to stay in.
And the personal rep is the petitioner.
Correct. Yes. So Taunee, that's a great point. So before the court appoints that person who filed the probate case, that son or daughter who filed the probate case is known as the petitioner. And once that petitioner is appointed as the personal representative, then we label that person as the personal representative. And a lot of times we call that person the PR. And if you hear the probate attorney says, oh, the executor, then you know, oh, mom left a will. If you hear them throw the word administrator around, the personal representative, the administrator, then you know mom did not leave a will. Okay. Yeah, so that is your vocabulary. And if the house is in a trust, your boss is a successor trustee. So when a homeowner passes away, this is your universe. That's it. Hey guys, baby boomers they're beginning to already. This is going to be the greatest wealth transfer in history. Baby boomers going to pass away. They're going to own a house. When they own a house, your boss falls into the two camps that you see in front of you. is either going to be in a probate or it's going to be in a trust. Okay. If it's in a trust, forget about administrator and executor, PR. If it's in a trust, purely your boss is the successor trustee. If it's in a trust, you just ask for a copy of the trust, find successor trustee. That's the person who signed your listing agreement, Taunee.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see. Do we have any other question out there?
I want to try to stick to answering the questions as you go through the software.
Oh,
please.
okay. Okay, great. Let's see here. V, have I missed anything, V, with this software that you wanted, or maybe you can explain better than I can, V?
Can we go back to one of the examples? Because I think that's a lot of where the questions are coming from.
Yes. So here, let's why don't we start a new search, and let's say San Diego. Okay, let's say San Diego. Let's say we say, okay, give me.
Okay, there is a question regarding the search though. Yes. So are all the homes in the software in different points of the timeline? So I guess, okay, let me rephrase the question then. Okay. How far back does your software go with in probate? How far back does it go with homes that have not been sold and still been in probate?
Okay, so this software, we don't discriminate. This software contains it goes back to about 2015, all the probate cases. Okay, it goes back to that far. And remember how I said, so it's gonna have cases where the house has been sold. It's gonna have cases where the house has not been sold. It's gonna have cases where a probate is closed, is done, but the heirs still own the house. So that still gives you an opportunity to go after the listing, because maybe 4 children inherit this house from mom, and guess what? They're sick and tired of being co-owner with each other, right? This software, you can flush that out too. It's so powerful now, with this software.
Okay.
Yeah. So here, you wanted to see an example, right? So let's say,
right, because we have questions.
Okay, so here's it. So let's say we go back to an example. So let's just take a look at one. Let's say this is the house in Glendale, for example. Okay, so for example, this is another case. It was filed on May 11. Okay, so
with that date of filing, how long does the petitioner receive authorization from the date they filed to sell the home?
Taunee, great question. So look.
That came from Cindy, by the way.
Okay, so this probate case is filed on May 11 of 2020. The hearing date, court first hearing date to appoint who? To appoint the PR, the personal representative, is in September 28. Now, normally from the date of the filing to appointment, it's about 6 weeks away. But with COVID-19, this little virus running around, okay, it's bringing a delay to even the court system too. So look, this case was filed last week on May 11th, but the court hearing date is not until September 28th. So this house cannot be sold until September 28th. Cannot, period. Cannot. Okay. So for example, the person in charge, his name is Lewis. This is his phone number. This is his email address. Okay. I mean, it's on a platter for you. Okay. And like I say, this house will not be sold until he gets appointed. And his court hearing date is September 28th of 2020. Okay. It's normally not that long. The court hearing date is normally not that long. It's only that long because of COVID-19. And when you look at this case, if you wanted to buy this house, you want to see what type of authority. Paul Horn and Taunee said full authority was the best. What type of authority does this case have? You go to full authority. That's right. Hey, with full authority, let me go back to our blank slate for a second. With full authority, if a house is, let me go here. if a probate has full authority, you only need 3 documents. Oops, let me see. You only need 3 documents to close escrow. These are the 3 documents right here. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Let me see here. So let me here. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me just demonstrate something. So if a probate has full authority, you only need 3 documents to close escrow. Just 3 documents. Very, very easy, gang. Very easy. You just need letters. You just need order for probate. And then something called a notice of proposed action. Proposed action. Short for NOPA. That's it, gang. That's it. Just these 3 documents: letters, orders, and notice of proposed action. So going back to our example of that one case you're looking at, that one example, if you go back to that one example, the hearing date is on September 28th. So on September 28th, the judge is going to appoint Lewis as the personal representative. And then about 10 days later, after September 28th, approximately say about 2 weeks, Lewis is going to get these 2 forms, letters and order for probate, saying that Lewis is the personal representative. And then you, as the realtor, just basically give the probate attorney the notice of proposed action. He mails it out. 15 days later, bam, you close escrow. That's it. That's full authority. There's no court confirmation, nothing like that at all. So that's why if you want to buy a house in probate or even list a house in probate, full authority is a better way to go because it mimics a full authority probate. It mimics a regular transaction. All you need are these 3 documents to close a full authority probate. Taunee.
Okay.
Yeah. Going back to, was there another question in relation?
Let's go back to the example and let me see where we're at. Okay. Can you scroll down?
Yes. So this
okay.
tells you,
You talked about that, and then and also you guys, you see that the relationship. So there, right there too, that would tell you right at that field right there, Paul, regarding the relationship. Would it also reflect? Would it reflect if there's a professional fiduciary or not?
Yes, it would. It would. That's exactly. It would absolutely say that. It would say professional fiduciary. Yes, and also right here, it has the beneficial distribution, guys.
Oh, yes.
If you wanted to build a buyer's list, oh my God, here it is. Here it is. These 4 individuals are getting 200 grand a piece. This 200 grand is after the probate attorney's fee, after court filing fees, after. So hey, look, Marianne.
So that's their net proceeds.
Yes, Marianne, instead of you spending this $200,000 on, Nike shoes or whatever, would you like to buy a house? Would you like to buy a house? Oh my God, right? This is your buyer's list right here. Okay? And there are thousands and thousands of them in this.
And just to let you guys all know, Cindy, Gabriel, we will be talking about the cost of the farming software and how your marketing can stand out from others. We will get there. We're almost there.
Yeah. So this software is going to give you 2 folds. It's going to.
Well, Paul, right before you get to that part, scroll down some more. Okay, so we talked about this portion right here. We talked about the beneficiaries, and here is where you can see what their estimated distribution would be. I've worked with a lot of different probate softwares, and this is the only one that has this functionality, by the way, so that you can not just market for probate leads, but you can also market for the future buyers also with this here, because you now know what they're expecting. So you can find out they want to buy more property, or you can look them up on title to see if they own property right now.
Perfect. Yes.
Okay.
So if you wanted to build a buyer list, guys, you have no more excuses right here, right? And
so speaking about the buyers list, Paul. So speaking about the buyers list. How can this be exported to their own CRM, or does this have its own CRM?
Okay, so you can use this software CRM, you can use this software, or you can export it, and you can export it to an Excel spreadsheet format or in a PDF format. Yes, you can export this data. Yes, you can. But if you, for example, a CRM is going to cost you what, $200 a month, whatever it is. If you want to, you can use our CRM that's built in the software, and that CRM is specifically to you. I don't see it. No one else sees it. It's specifically to you.
And so the question is, at what point within the probate process does the home have to be in order to be listed on the market?
Okay, great question. All right, so a probate normally takes about 1 year to do. It takes 1 year to do a probate normally. Takes 1 year to do. Let me see if I can do this for you. Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second here. Let me see if I can show you this terrific chart that I have. Give me 1 second here. Oh, let me see here. Give me 1 second, gang. I'm going to bring up a chart that's going to show you when the house can be listed. And that is a good question. And it warrants some time to go over it, and we will do it now. So if we go to this chart that I have, okay, you all see that chart?
Yes.
So a probate normally takes 12 months to do. This is the end of the probate, 12 months. This little guy is holding a bag of cash. Yay, okay? Normally takes 12 months to do. So someone on the line says, hey, when can I list this probate? Because Paul, it takes, a while for that person to be appointed as the personal representative. Hey, hold on a second. If he's not the personal representative, he doesn't have the power to sign my listing agreement. Okay. Here's how we get around that. Okay. So what we do is you can sign the listing agreement contingent, right? You all are aware of contingency clause, contingent on Mary Smith being appointed as the personal representative. You can do that. You sign this. Once the probate case is filed, you contact the petitioner, phone call, email, mailers, you contact the petitioner. Once he or she is convinced, yeah, I want to work with you, Taunee, okay, that you, Mr. Realtor, Miss Realtor, can sign the listing agreement immediately, contingent on him or her being appointed as the personal representative. The moment the court date comes and he or she is appointed as the personal representative, and bam, your listing is now activated. But that doesn't answer the question, hey, what if I want to start marketing this house now? Okay, here's my answer to that. Hey, Mary, you are in charge, Mary. Hey, Mary, oh, what's happening with this? Give me 1 second. Hey, Mary. So if we go back to the probate data, hey, Mary, have you, in this case, Lewis. Hey, Lewis, have you spoken to Denise? Have you spoken to Marianne? Have you spoken to Anthony? Do they all want to sell the house? There's only 4 of you. If you all agree to sell the house, I normally tell my realtor, go ahead, list it. Because who has the power, the standing to, let me speak French for a second, to bitch at you for putting a sign in front of the house? That's French, okay? If all 4 of you wants to sell the house, these are the only 4 that has any saying in this probate case, okay? There is no objection to Lewis being the PR. They all want to sell the house. There's no one standing in your way to do the prep work, to list the house, find a buyer. Hey, buyer, court hearing date is such and such. In this example, court hearing date is September 28th. Hey, let's get you pre-approved. Let's get all the loan done. Don't pull loan docs. Let's get everything done. Clear all contingency. And then when September 28th comes, Lewis gets letters and orders. You immediately give the probate attorney the probate purchase agreement. 15 days later, you close the probate. Bam. It's that simple, gang, with full authority.
Great. Can we talk about marketing? Because I know we're already at 11 o'clock. So can we talk about, like one question we have as, how can you track your marketing materials in the software?
Okay, so that is you're gonna have to rely on it. So this software allows you to use this CMR. It allows you to basically track your phone calls. Every day you come in and you do something. Hey, I spoke to Taunee. I did my mailing out on such a date. Hey, this is mailing one was done on, May 12th, for example, mailer two, or whatever. So you can use our CRM to track your mailing, to track your phone call, to track the status. Okay.
And then over here where it says add number and add email. So I know that everyone who looks up this property, this case number, they would see all that. But if I get a different number and a different email for this person, will they also have access to that?
Perfect. So when we upload this case, we do our research and we provide you the phone number and an email address, okay? Let's say you spoke to Esteban Gonzalez, and he takes a liking to you and says, hey, you know what? Why don't you call me at this cell phone number? You put in that phone number, and that number is a private number for your eye only. Even the way we wrote the software, we cannot see that number. Only you can. It's because it's your CRM. So you can add in a phone number. Esteban likes you. Hey, you know what? Don't use that email address. It's inundated. Use this email address. So yes, Taunee, you can put it in, and it's privately yours.
Okay. Can we talk about the price of this dear beloved software?
Okay, so let's say, let me go to
and your price and the marketing materials. So can we go over both of that, please?
Yeah. So basically, we have two programs. As one is $49, and it allows you to basically download 250 leads. So if you take $49 divided by 250 leads, about 20 cents per probate case, basically. Okay. For those of you who has a large team, you might want to use the second program. It's $79, where it allows you 450 downloads. Okay. Yeah. And the terrific thing, guy, is just go for a test drive. You can do your free trial, 7 days free trial. When you do your 7 days free trial, you get to see exactly what I've been showing you. The only thing that you don't get to see is the full-blown library, okay? But you do the 7 days, you get to search, you get to see everything you can. So just try it for 7 days, okay? You get to see everything that I'm showing you right now, Taunee.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we see the probate videos, and
yeah, this Taunee, this is very valuable. I have to say.
Oh, you're right. The marketing samples.
Yeah.
So someone had a question about how do I stand out among all the mailers everyone gets. So this is how they stand out with your 400 plus pages of marketing samples.
That's right. Just go through this. Just go through this and see it. This gives you good content. And then when you mail stuff out, you can go ahead and probably, who doesn't like to get a greeting card style mailer? The Hallmark style mailer. And inside of it, I give you tons and tons of example of, just scroll through and see which one that you think resonate with you. Okay. So I think that this is pretty priceless, because you would never ever get your hand on this unless your mom passed away and you were in probate. You know what I mean? And even at that point, you'll get 1, 2, 3, 4. Here I give you 417 pages of example of it. Yeah.
How many realtors do you work with, Paul, over the years?
It depends. I mean, realtor comes and go, but as far as probate leads, the number of leads that I can hand out, this is all this as far as leads. I mean, I have realtor who consistently sign up for the probate leads because it works for them. It works. And that's why they keep coming back to subscribe. Okay, I've been doing this for about 5 years now. So once you get onto the software, first thing, I want you to watch as many videos as you can. That's number one. Number two, I want you to download the marketing example. And then after that, work on the leads, because I don't want you to go blind, okay? Understand probate first, because when you talk to the son and daughter, you're gonna stand out. Number two, do some of the mailers, do some of your trifle. I give you an example of it, okay? So do those two things first before you attack the lead. That's what would be my recommendation.
Okay, and let's talk about, because I see some people are interested in the certification. We do, Greater Los Angeles Association, we are having a certification course soon, right, Paul?
Yes, yeah, we just need to coordinate with Carr, and then we'll come out there, you know? It's probably via the
Sorry, we actually having one with, I thought we having one with the association, that you're teaching at the association.
So I do have one. Yeah, we haven't set up one yet with the Greater Los Angeles, your association, just yet, you know. But
okay, well, we will, being the chair of professional development, because I really do think it's a valuable certification, because I think that you will stand out when certifications, you know, people like seeing certifications, and also just for your own knowledge, you should really understand probate, so that you can stand out in your listing presentations, or when you get on the phone with someone, that you know what you're talking about.
Sorry to interrupt. We do have it scheduled on our calendar. I just put the link in the chat for everybody.
Okay.
The date is May 19th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. So.
Okay.
Thank you. Sorry, me and Paul need more coffee. Sorry. Yeah, we need more coffee, because I knew we had it scheduled, but So May 19th, everyone, we do have the probate certification.
Yeah, and so once you take that class, you pass the exam, you will get a certificate signed off by, is it Janine Redsick?
President, our 2020 president would sign your certification.
Yes, so your certification is like that.
And it lasts for, I think, 2 years.
Yeah, it lasts for 2 years. You know why? Because
the law changes.
Yes, the law changes, and I'm required to update this thing every year, you know. So that's how that goes. Yeah. So
did we discuss, I'm so sorry, I was answering questions. Did we discuss the price of your software?
Yeah, we did. So basically, if they just go to learnprobate.com, they can see the 2-track. Oh, let me see, where was it? Oh, let me refresh this page. There we go. So we have one that starts at $49 a month, and we have another one that starts at $79. What I will recommend is sign up. It's 7-day free trial. If you don't like it, cancel it, and you will not be charged a penny. But yet you get to access everything that we just talked about.
Okay. And for those regarding the certification, it is on Greater Los Angeles Association Realtors website. And also too, I love marketing this, and me and Paul actually did a promo video for it. So I will be sending that out to everyone too. And also the question regarding the replay of this, the replay link will be available on our Facebook page for Greater Los Angeles Association Realtors, but also every attendee will receive an email of the link also.
Great, wonderful.
And let's see, do we have any other questions? Oh, the cost of the class, I would have to look that up.
Oh, so
and I will share the link for
the cost is $119.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry, Scott. How did I forget my Scott?
Yeah, so
the class is $119.
Yes, and so the format is this. It's going to be 3 hours of me teaching, and then you basically will take an exam, and then once you pass, CAR will issue you this certification. And with the class, gangs, it also comes with a book that I wrote. It's 4 chapters that covers everything from everything we talked about. It comes from, I'm also a CPA. I wrote a chapter on taxes. Mom bought the house for 150 grand. When mom died, it was worth $1 million. You sell it for $1 million. Are there any capital gain? The answer is 0. I address all that in a separate chapter for taxes as well too.
Well,
So
because he puts his CPA hat on at that point.
yes,
So
the
about the cost
Chinese
basis and things like that.
CPA, the Chinese party animal, CPA. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, I love Cindy. She wants to know if it's going to be an open book exam.
Yes, yeah, it is. And Taunee and I will not be proctoring this exam for you. You're on your own, Cindy.
Scott, is 119 for non-members also?
You have to be a member. It doesn't have to be our association, but you have to be a member of CAR for the 119 is what I believe.
Okay, so you have to be a member of California Association of Realtors. You don't have to be a member of our particular board.
Yeah. And you know, since you have me here, I mean, if anybody on the line that wants question about a probate question answered, ask me. Taunee and I are here to serve you.
And
yeah.
Paul, can you put a screen up of where people can go to sign up for the probate? I see the link. Oh, thank you. V put it up there. Here, the link, he has just posted the link for where you can go to sign up for the probate leads and the marketing materials. It's at www.probatemoney.com.
Yes.
So simple, probatemoney.com. Go there.
That's right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Minna, you're asking us tax questions.
Yeah.
Tax base if they're fixed before selling. Okay, I let the CPA speak.
Go ahead.
The question is, does the tax basis change if they fix the property up before selling?
Let's do it. Here we go. Taxes. I love taxes. I don't. IRS stands for it really sucks. But anyway, don't tell the IRS that. Taxes. All right. So let's talk about taxes.
And guys, this officially the event is over. We're just staying over. Just answer any questions, by the way. But you will get a repaid link of this email to you.
Yeah. All right. So when a homeowner passes away, there's 3 types of taxes you need to deal with. Okay. One is the capital gain tax. 2 is the property tax.
Paul, we don't have that screen up. You're not sharing that part.
Sorry. Okay. All right. Here we go. Let me go. Okay. So.
I'm sorry. Before you get to that, just going back to the software really quick. Is there a time limit for the 7-day trial offer? When does it start?
It starts anytime from the moment that you click on to sign up. Bam, there you go. Okay. Yeah. It's the 7-day starts when you wanted to start. Okay. Yeah. All right. Do you see my Microsoft?
Yes.
Okay. When a homeowner passes away, when a homeowner passes away, when someone passes away, okay, there are 3 types of taxes that you need to contend with. 1 is the capital gain tax, 2 is property tax, 3 is the estate tax. Okay. Let's do the easy one first. If you die with less than 11.4 million, God bless you. You don't owe us any estate tax. Okay. So take tax number 3 out. I don't have 11.4 million. And if I do, my wife gets 11.4 as well. So it's actually 23 million for a married couple. Okay. So don't worry about estate tax. That's the easy one. We knocked it out. Bam, done. Let's go to, let's talk about capital gain real fast. Let's go talk about capital gain. Mom bought this house. Mom bought the house for, 200,000, 30 years ago, okay? When mom passed away, it's worth $1 million and you're selling it for $1 million. Okay? The children gets a step up basis, and therefore the children, when you sell the house for $1 million, there's 0 tax due, 0.
Now let's explain that. So Does that step-up basis apply to grandkids? Does that step-up basis apply for siblings?
Great question. So step-up basis doesn't matter. Does not matter. Someone leaves your house, mom leaves your house, she only bought it for 200,000. This is in Beverly Hills, it's worth 2 million. Doesn't matter if the grandkid, children, doesn't matter. Step-up basis, capital gain, you sell it for the fair market value is zero. It's zero, okay? Now.
Okay, so this is back to this question here. So since people are asking about it. So basically, if you were to fix the house up, renovate the house before selling in order to get a higher price, how does that affect your cost basis?
Listen, great question. So mom, let's use this example. Mom bought the house for 200,000. Okay, mom bought 200,000, and you're selling it. So let's say you fixed it up. So let's say now in a probate, well, it doesn't matter probate or trust. When someone
right, it doesn't matter.
You always get a valuation. Always get the house appraised. Okay, always get the house appraised. All right. So let's say it's appraised.
Do you have to get it appraised, or could you use a realtor's BPO?
I think it's going to depend on how many houses you have. Well, back up. If there are substantial gain, I would get an appraisal. You know why? Just in case the IRS challenge you. That's all.
Okay.
So let's say on a date of death, it's worth $1 million. Okay. Mm-hmm. And let's say you spent, I don't know, $75,000 to fix up the house. $75,000 to fix up the house. Okay. So let's say it was appraised at $1 million. You spend 75, and now you're able to sell it at 1.2 million. Is that fair?
Yeah.
When mom died, as is the $1 million, you spend 75, fix up, and you sold it for 1.2 million. So your capital gain. So you take 1.2 is the selling price. You take 1.2 minus not the 200,000 what mom bought it for.
Nope.
You're gonna minus the $1 million. You're gonna
minus the step up basis.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're gonna minus the $1 million and minus the 75K that you put in to fix it. Okay. So what's your profit? Your profit is, someone help me with the math. What is it? 125, right?
Yeah.
125K, that's your profit. But wait!
No, it's more than that.
Taunee doesn't work for free. Taunee doesn't work for free. You don't work for free. So you're gonna subtract out, you're gonna subtract out the commission costs, escrow fee, the probate costs, the probate attorney, all that stuff. So basically, I would not worry about it. If there's any capital gain, it's very, very negligent, okay? So the takeaway from this conversation, the takeaway step-up basis, do not give the house to your children while you are alive. Do not do that.
Nope.
Let's say you bought the house for $200,000 and you say, hey, I only have one daughter. Screw Paul Horn. I'm not going to get a trust. Screw him. So I'm going to just go ahead and put my daughter on the house as joint tenant. When I die, it goes to my daughter. No probate. Fine. There's no probate. But when she goes to sell for $1 million, the daughter has to pay capital gain, okay? Because her name is on the grand deed. So don't do that. Don't ever put a child's name on the grand deed because it's going to destroy the step-up basis.
Yeah, it is. And also, guys, this relates to not just for probate, it's also for trust too. It's trust and probate. If the child or the heirs are not on title, beforehand, then they get to take advantage of the step-up basis. So just to answer your question, Mina, it is for both, either probate or trust. It's still based on the death of the owner of the property, the death of the value of the property on the date of the death of the owner.
To complete,
no matter how it's held, and no matter how it's held, either trust or in probate.
Correct. So the daughter who's inheriting this house when mom mom was paying property tax on 200,000. Okay, mom property tax is very, very low. When mom died, it was worth $1 million. The daughters is gonna live there. The daughter property tax, is it gonna get reassessed? Is it gonna get reassessed for property tax purposes? Is it gonna be based?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, is it gonna be based on 200K or her step up basis of $1 million? Which one is it? Which one is it? Okay, it can be based on 200,000 only if you file. Let's say if it's you file proposition 58 form. Okay, so it's basically form 58. Okay, if it's going to your grandchild, like you were talking about, Taunee, you will file proposition. It'll be proposition 193. Proposition 193. Okay, that's it. These are the 3 taxes, guys. This tax right here, the property tax, it is critical. It is critical. Oh well, that's a bad choice of color there. It is critical. The property tax, guys. When mom and dad die, please have your client file Proposition 58 form. Please file Form 193 if it's applicable, okay? So that's it, guys. On this.
Well, no, but let's talk about when, because I had this happen. What happens when the property's left to a sibling, not a child, not a parent?
Sorry. When it's left to a sibling, there is no proposition to avoid reassessment. If
Right.
it's left to a sibling, Taunee, if you receive a house from mom, so let's say if your sister passed away and left you the house, Taunee, and you don't want to pay the taxes, there's a way to escape it. You know what you do, Taunee? Give it to me. I will pay the taxes for you, Taunee. Just kidding. That's a joke. Give me the house. But anyway, it's about to get wrapped up, so we end with that joke. Okay.
Right. Well, just to wrap this up, everyone, you learn more about this in a slower pace in more detail if you sign up for our certification course, which is on May 12th. And I just put in the chat again, the sign up, because I'll give you more details in a slower pace, so we can answer questions if a property's in joint tenancy or joint this and that you get your answers on that date. So we will be sending this out. So we'll love to see you on May 12th.
Great.
And Paul, any lasting remarks?
That's it, guy. That's it. Thank you so much for having me, Taunee. I want to thank the association. I want to thank everybody on the call today. And hey, look, whether you learn probate from me.
May 12th is today. Hold on.
May 19th.
May 19th. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Gabriel. My bad. Again, more coffee's needed. And okay, and also, by the way, this is for California. Because remember, all states have their own probate, so this certification class will only be applicable to people in California.
Yeah, what I taught you about the capital gain, the IRS is federal. So what I taught you with the taxes, so it's good. Yeah, so like I was saying, hey, whether you learn probate from me or from anybody, learn it, because it's gonna happen to you. It's only a matter of time when you're gonna come across a homeowner who passed away. And whether you want to be the listing agent or want to buy the house, you need to understand this process.
And also one last ending for me too is that what's very important too when you're working with different attorneys is that there is a special certification for probate, which was Paul has. If you go to the state bar site and you research that, you will see that there's not many attorneys that holds the certified specialist in estate planning and trust and probate law, which is what Paul has. And if you know CAR, they wouldn't let anyone just author their, first certified probate course. They really did tear into it to make sure that everything is, proper in accordance to the California law for probate in the state.
Yeah. So, guys, thank you so much for having me today. And Taunee, thank you so much. Thank you to the association. And I'll see everybody online on May 19th. If you want to start immediately with the leads and learning about probate, you can always sign up with Probate Money immediately, and you can have all these videos as well too, if you don't want to wait. Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. And Paul, you got a lot of claps and everything. Appreciation.
All right. Thank you, guys.